Basically, the Packers will move up 2 picks in the first round. So they had the number 15. They will move up to number 13. So that's the movement in the first round. The Packers also get a second-round pick this year, which is number 42. They give up a fifth-round pick. That goes to the Jets. That's number 170. And they get a sixth-round pick, number 207. So basically this year, they move up 2 spots in the first round. They pick up a second-round pick. And then they trade, giving the Jets our fifth, and we get their sixth. Next year, a conditional 2024 second-round pick. So next year, the Packers will get a second-round pick for the Jets unless Rodgers plays 65% of the plays, which if he's healthy is going to happen. And then that becomes a first-round pick, which is a big deal. Greg Matzek's been on this story from the beginning. Greg, to me, it's like, all right, we gain a couple picks in the first round. That's probably not a really big deal. We gain a second-round pick this year. That's really nice. Then we flip the 5 and the 6, but next year is what's more interesting. It's going to be a second-round pick or potentially a first-round pick.
The biggest takeaway for me in the reported compensation plan that you just laid out is that the 2024 conditional pick has nothing to do with Rodgers playing beyond the upcoming season. Okay, he plays 65% of the snaps this coming season, and the second-round pick offered becomes a first-round pick. Right? Now think about this. If Rodgers doesn't play 65% of the snaps, something went wrong, he got hurt, something happened, and the Jets more than likely are not going to have a great season. So that pick, right, that first-round pick probably becomes much more valuable to the Jets, who are kind of in that constant state of rebuild. Okay, if he plays 65% of the snaps or more, chances are the Jets are going to be a pretty good team and pick toward the back half of the first round. That would be my guess, somewhere between 15 and 30. They're not getting Aaron Rodgers to not be a playoff team.
And then they'll have Rodgers, and he'll wet the bed in the
right,
first round of the
will
playoffs.
Happen but nonetheless, the fact that the conditional pick has nothing to do with Rodgers playing beyond the upcoming season is the biggest takeaway for me.
Because that had been the reporting, that likely it would be tied to if they can convince Aaron Rodgers to stay a second season. And to your point, that is not part of this at all.
No, not at all. So the pick swap, okay. Look, if this were a year ago, I think as a Packers fan, you'd be annoyed that you didn't just get the Jets' first-round pick without having to touch your own. But this wasn't MVP, back-to-back MVP Aaron Rodgers we saw on the field last year, right? It was different. He didn't play well. So the leverage the Packers had, in truth, was a little bit less than if they tried to pull off a trade a year ago. So the fact that they are getting a first-round pick, they are moving up a little bit in the draft, they get the Jets' first, second-round pick, so now the Packers have pick number 42 and 45. That sets up nice and maybe gives you some ammunition to move down in the draft to acquire more picks. It's not considered a strong draft by comparison. So you've got a little flexibility with the picks that you've acquired. But I think overall, I look at this, and I can't say if one team got fleeced or not, but it appears fair. But I am surprised that there's nothing tied to how long Rodgers is a Jet.
All right. It is 3:43. Amy, did you want to weigh in?
I sort of want to talk about why this happened. Was it inevitable given Rodgers' psyche and the way he was feeling about Green Bay? And are people going to be really happy that it did happen?
Yes. Get him out of here.
We'll put up should we put up a poll? I'm looking at Adam right now. His head is spinning back there. We do a poll. Aaron Rodgers is traded. I am happy or sad. Have another. Just respond with your reaction.
I think the relationship has soured.
Yeah, I think you make them choose. Are we happy or sad? Yeah, I think the relationship soured 6 months ago. I mean, we've done this topic repeatedly on this show.
Right.
And the number's gone up and up and up for get him out of here. Ready to be done.